This is Bryce Van Patten with Metal Express Radio Backstage, and today my guest is guitarist vocalist for the three-piece Canadian hard rock band Deraps, Jacob Deraps. The band set to release their self-titled debut album June 22nd through Metalville Records. And how are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure. If somebody had never heard of Deraps before, and you had to give an elevator pitch as to what, to describe the sound, what would you say?
I think the best way to describe our music is to compare it to classic rock. Classic rock music. So anything classic rock from the 70s and 80s with a very organic sound, like Van Halen, AC/DC, even some Whitesnake in there. All these bands from the 80s and the 70s. I think that's what describes our music best, for sure. Yeah.
Excellent. You first came to a lot of people's attention back in 2016 when you appeared on stage with Dweezil Zappa, and you winning an award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what happened is that Dweezil saw a video of me playing Main Street, the Van Halen song, on the guitar, and he left a comment on YouTube, and it was actually him. It was the real Dweezil Zappa, and we've been in touch ever since. And I've met him in Quebec after one of his show, which was great. He did a show here in Quebec at a festival. I was there, and I met him there, and then so that was the first time. And then at some point, like a couple of years later, he sent me an email. And he was like, "Hey, I nominated you for this Dweezil and Frank Zappa Fellowship Award thing." I didn't know what it was, but I thought, yeah, that was great. Yeah. So a couple of days later, he get back to me and he says, "Hey, congratulations, you've won the award." And I was like, "Awesome, that's awesome," And then he explained to me what it was and what it implied, and they flew me all the way to Montana from here, Montana in the U.S. And it's like a big festival there, a workshop and festival where all these great musicians from all around the world, they go there like a kind of on a vacation thing, and they play music. There's shows, there's jams, just like free jams. People play music. There's lodges. It's around the lake. I can't remember the name of the lake, but it's in Montana. It's a big lake thing. I stayed there for 2 weeks playing with all these guys. And there was a bunch of other young people as well playing like jazz music, folk music, country music. And I got to develop my style of playing around these guys as well. Being in a different kind of context that I've never been before, it allowed me to grow as a musician and get better at doing other things and incorporate new things into my playing, which was just fantastic to me. It was really, really great. And it was fantastic to play with Dweezil as well, because that was the first time I got to play with him over there at the festival. And then after a couple weeks later, Dweezil was on a tour and he played in Quebec City here. And I got on stage with him, and I got to play with him on stage in front of an audience, big audience here at a venue. And it was absolutely one of the highlights of my career, for sure. It was such a great moment. There's a video on YouTube, actually, on my YouTube page.
Right, I was checking that out. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's great to hear the backstory of it. So that sounds like an amazing experience.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's go a little farther back, and can you tell us at what point growing up that you decided you wanted to play guitar? Do you know the moment? Do you know the moment that you knew that you wanted to play guitar?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it all started with Guitar Hero, the video game Guitar Hero. So I had been playing that for years. This and the game Rock Band as well. And at some point, I don't know what happened, but I decided, okay, I need to start playing guitar. I want to play guitar. You know, so what happened is that I saw a guitar in a music store, and it
Hmm.
was the same guitar that one of the characters had in Guitar Hero, and I was like, I need this guitar. You know, I need this guitar. And my parents, they told me, oh, we're gonna buy this guitar if you start playing guitar and you like it. So I picked up my dad's guitar because my dad was a musician, my mom as well. They're both musicians. You know, I come up from a very musical environment since
Hmm.
as far back as I can remember. So it was always in my blood. Um, but when I picked up the guitar that night, the first time, I learned all the basic chords, and that was it. Like it's like something happened in my brain. It's like a switch, you know. It was just turned on, and I was obsessed with the guitar, and I was improving really fast. I loved it, loved the sound, uh, and that was it. Like from the first time, you know, that was it. It wasn't. It wasn't like something happened later that made me want to play the guitar more. You know, it was like from the first time I needed to get better and do this because I loved it. You know, it was for the fun. It was always for the fun.
So I have to ask, what was that first guitar?
So
And
I'm
do you still
sure
have it?
it's right here actually. So
Oh, let's
that's
take a look.
yeah. So it's my dad's 1989 Fender HM Strat. So
Wow.
he bought it brand new in 1989. So yeah.
Now, is that a Floyd Rose on that, or is that the Kramer? What is that?
That one's a Floyd Rose. It
Mhm.
was usually a, I think it's called Kaler
Oh yeah,
Spider.
Kaler. Kaler's the other
Kaler
band.
Spider, yeah.
Right. Right.
So yeah, this one's a Floyd. He changed it recently, and there's
Hmm.
a tuner on it because it's blocked as well. It's not floating. But yeah, I still have the guitar, and it's a great guitar, and that was my first guitar. Yeah,
I think you're really lucky because a lot of kids, when they pick up their first guitar, their parents, if they don't play, they're like, well, we're not going to spend $500
yeah,
plus for them to find out that it's back in the closet a week later, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
your first
exactly,
guitar is usually a piece of junk that
exactly.
that
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it doesn't really help inspire you to be a guitar player. You know what I mean? It's kind of, but
yeah. I was
that's awesome. That looks like a sweet guitar that you still play, correct?
it's a great guitar. I still play it. Yeah, it's a fantastic guitar. You know, my dad was a guitar player, so we had this guitar. He had the PV Wolfgang USA as well. So we had great guitars. So I obviously, yeah, I started on good guitars. Yeah,
That's great. So,
yeah,
I know one of your influences because I'm also looking at your shirt and seeing some of your other videos. But
yeah,
can you talk about your biggest influences and how they first came to your attention?
yeah, absolutely. So the very first band that I was really into was Metallica. I was playing a lot of Metallica. Um,
Hmm.
the early stuff, you know, Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets and all this stuff. First album as well, Kill 'Em All. And then I got into Randy Rhoads with Ozzy, and I was, you know, he's such a great player, still one of my all-time favorites. And yeah, he was another obsession for me. It was always like that for me. It was always like a big obsession. You know, I discovered a band, and it's like, oh my god, it's so good. I listen to it all the time, and it's always like that. And then later I discovered Van Halen, and there was something that happened again, like a switch in my brain. You know, it was like there was something. I was so hooked and obsessed with the sound and the playing. um there's something magic, and it's still to this day when I listen to Van Halen, it's like there's something about the sound, the playing. There's something that's so natural and connects with me so much. It's just unreal. You know, the guitar sound. It feels so alive. It feels like something that's alive. You know, that it's so organic. You know, it's like it's
Hmm.
breathing. And so that was really a high point, discovering Van Halen. I remember I was scrolling down on the computer when I discovered them, the computer, my dad's computer, the library, the music library, and I found all these Van Halen albums, and I found the first one, and I listened to I'm the One, and that was it. You know, the groove. There's something about his playing that's so it's just natural. It's natural, and like he's born with it. You know, there's just something special about
right.
it.
Those first two albums have a real magic to them that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on those, every single track
It's insane.
is worthy of being there. I feel, you know, they, for a little while there, they kind of, Women and Children and some of the other ones, I don't feel there was as much effort, possibly. You know what I mean? As the first two records.
I think, yeah, I think.
Because like Light Up the Skies. I mean, come on.
But for me is I mean, Beautiful Girls, the groove, the
right,
room, and not just the guitar, but there's something also about the entire band. You know that
right.
These guys found each other, and they are perfect for each other. You can't like switch one of the members because they're all very unique. You know, the Michael Anthony big vocals and the bass tone as well. You hear this woody sounding bass underneath. You know, you hear every note. It's very clear and punchy, and Alex's groove is like, it's basically like Eddie but on the drums. You know, the swing feel very jazzy and natural as well, organic. And Dave is just magic. You know, it's colors of weird voice ad libs and dynamics and tones. You know, so it's just crazy to think that these guys found each other and became that band. I like all the 6 albums. To me, like honestly, my favorite ones are the first one in 1984. Actually, they're and then the second one as well. You know, these 3 are my favorite. But I like Fair Warning as well. You know, Unchained and hear about it later and all this stuff.
I'm a little partial to the second record because I'm being a little older than you. I saw Van Halen for the first time opening for Black Sabbath on the first album tour, and then the first time I saw him headline at a skating arena.
Oh yeah, it must have been crazy.
You know what I mean? Was for the second album, and the energy that they had, and like the smiles that they had on stage, and just that they put out there was just. Yeah, I think it was the best ever that I've ever seen. You know.
Yeah, I think their best years, like especially live, was like between 75 and 79, because you can hear some of these bootlegs of 75 and like 76, and it's just real, man. It's just crazy what's going on there with that band. But yeah, besides that, you know, I have tons of influences as well, of different styles. You know, I love Michael Jackson. Thriller is one of my favorite albums. Just the production, the groove, and you know, the sound, and it's just great songs on it. You know, and Toto as well. Whitesnake, love that album, the '87, and the one with Steve Vai as well. Great album. You know, all kinds of influences. Earth, Wind, and Fire. One of the most recent bands that I like, because I don't like a lot of recent stuff. I don't really listen to anything that's like under the 90s.
Right.
Wolfpack. Do you know Wolfpack? They're more of a funk kind of band, but they sound very 70s. So that's why I like them.
No, I haven't heard them, but I'm also, besides being a metalhead, I'm huge into funk and
you're probably gonna like
especially
them.
70s and 60s.
Yeah, they're very cool for that. They sound very 70s and organic, which is something that's very kind of lost today. I don't know. Everything is too generic and polished for my taste. You know, especially in rock music, I think it's even worse.
I hear what you're saying. On the Van Halen thing, and then we'll move on to something else. You know how some people kind of get a thing in their head that like this music is sacred and you shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. Do people ever give you any crap for playing a bunch of Van Halen? Because there's people that obviously I enjoy. I just enjoy good music, and
Yeah.
But I've seen people with a reaction like, um, you know what I mean? I've seen negative reactions too.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any of that or ran into anything like that?
Well, I get like on YouTube, I get shit on by a lot of people all the time. You know, I don't care about it.
Really?
I
I'm
don't.
just curious. That's weird, you know.
But it's not something that's you know, the positivity, the positivity overcomes the bad stuff. You know, it's not.
Right.
It's most comments are great. Most people get it. You know, most people know that we're not just like a knockoff or a wannabe something. You know, it's very
Right.
organic. Our music is very real and organic, and our playing is, you know, is very natural. I'm not afraid to say it. It's nothing is like nothing is forced. It's not like a bad tribute or a bad
Right.
parody or something. You know. So
Right.
and most people get it, and they get it when they see us live as well. We get great response from young people as well
Mhm.
that don't know this kind of music. They come to our shows and it's like they go wild on this stuff. It's crazy because they don't know about it, but it's like they discover it for the first time and they absolutely love it. They go wild, they dance, they drink, they have fun, you know, like they used to in the back in the days, because we do it like that. It's organic, it's real. You know, we pour our hearts and souls, and we do it the right way with the crank Marshalls, and it's very live sounding, and that's the same on our record. That's what we wanted to do, you know, sound organic and authentic and raw. Yeah.
Exactly. On that note, to me, it's like these people that get this thing about it. If music was that way, what would have happened if, you know, no, Mozart's dead. We can't play Mozart anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Beethoven's
exactly.
gone. You can't play Beethoven. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
kind
Yeah.
of preposterous to me. You know what I
I,
mean? If you
I
put it in
agree. Yeah.
terms of music is carried on by younger generations, and when somebody dies, that's not the end of their music, and it should never be, right? And I'm
Yeah.
sure you
I'm
can agree with that.
I agree with that. I think that a lot of people tend to discredit some artists because they play other people's music.
Hmm.
But like you said, you know, why would we not give the credit to someone who has the ability to play Mozart and play piano and make it feel right and sound right? You know, I but most people get it. Most people
Right.
get it. Yeah.
Right. There's always the trolls out there. So what
Yeah,
can
yeah, exactly. So I'm used to it as well. You know, I've been posting videos on YouTube for what uh 12 or 13 years now, something like that. And you know,
so so can I ask how old are you, Jacob?
I'm 25.
See, that's awesome. It's great. It's great for me to see just a younger person that's into such, you know, music back from more from my time,
Yeah,
because you have the ability that we never had as kids, that you can go online and just run into something and go, oh my God, and then you can at a touch of your fingers have the whole catalog,
yeah,
right, of all this
yeah.
back music and go, wow, and it's like treasure hunting, you
There's a
know.
lot of stuff, yeah, that I can discover, yeah, and I still discover, you know. But like I said, nothing, nothing above the '90s. I always discover stuff that's, you know, from the
Older,
'70s
right?
or the '80s or the '60s, you know. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So on the, you're talking about your sound, um, and you just recorded the record. So can you talk to me about how you guys approached the studio? As far as, did you go in and just plug in and play live? Did you guys play to click tracks? Did you talk to me a little bit about that?
That's a pretty big story. So
Well, do your best.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna explain to you how the album was made,
Awesome.
um, and how it happened. So where do I start? This whole thing was done by me and Josh. So that's the first thing I want to mention is that there's no one else on this record except me and my drummer Josh. We did
Hmm.
everything. So obviously it wasn't done live because we couldn't do it. He's in Australia. He's an Australian drummer, and
Oh yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
he was born there. Um, So the entire album we did remotely, or yeah, from apart from each other. So I played the guitar, the bass, did all the vocals, the back vocals as well, and Josh did the drums, some of the co-lead vocals as well, and some back vocals as well. Um, yeah, we created all the songs,
Mm-hmm.
produced the album, the arrangements and everything. We recorded it ourselves in our home studios. So there wasn't, it was all done with our own resources and knowledge. So we had to learn on top of it as well. We did the mixing as well. The only thing we didn't do is the mastering. So we did everything on this album.
That sounds really good. You guys did a great job.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're very proud of this because it sounds great. We got to where we wanted to be with this album, and it could have not existed. I'm going to explain to you why.
Okay.
It was really a pain in the ass sometimes. It was really hard. It was a lot of it was a lot of struggle and hard work and tough moments where you think, is this going to happen? Is this going to work? Because we've never done this before, and especially the mixing process, because it's a completely different world. You have to you have all these albums that you like, that they sound great, but you don't know exactly how to get there with your own stuff, how to make it sound so good. And then you start trying some tricks, some stuff, and it works. And it's a lot of hard work, it's and a lot of learning on top of doing it. So you really have to learn the hard way and understand what's going on. It's not like going to school and they tell you, oh, do this and do this and do that, and you do it and it sounds fine. You have to understand it and experiment. That's the word I was looking for. So there was a lot of experimenting, I mean. And the recording as well, my vocals, because the album, there was songs that were as old as like when I was 16 years old.
Right.
And the newer songs as well, because I've been creating music forever, and I have all these demos that we worked over the past years, because we started working together, me and Josh, quite a while ago, and we were working on these songs. And wait, I have a blank. I was going to say something. Yeah. So my voice. So yeah, my voice over time, my voice got better. And so there's stuff that I re-recorded later because I thought, well, I sound much better than I used to. So it was such a long process and a lot of learning through that process. But the last couple of years, like the last 2 years, where we really got better and understood what was happening there, that's where we really made the album, made it happen. But it was really tough, and we're happy that we got it. We got it, and it's unreal to us to think, oh my God, we did it finally. Finally, especially with the pandemic and everything as well. It was really weird, such a weird time.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one thing too is that now that you've done this first record, it's going to be a lot easier for your next one because of what you've learned, and that first one, especially self-producing and recording, is quite a journey.
Yep.
Did you find that sometimes it was hard to stop messing with the songs when you were finishing them up? Like, because I've recorded things where I recorded my drums and guitars and didn't get it all completed, and then when I went to mix it down like a year and a half later, I'm like, I can do better, or I can fix this, or I can change that. Did you run into that a little bit?
As far as like my guitar playing,
or any instrument, you know what I mean? Just
like I said, the vocals, I had to re-record a lot of stuff because my voice got better. I became a better singer.
You knew you could do a better version, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As far as guitar, I've been playing so much for so long that um, the tracks that whenever I recorded a guitar track, it's got to be perfect, like from the
In the first place, right?
yeah, exactly. So I didn't have to mess a lot with that. Um, but I'm very happy with what we achieved. Yeah, it was
So,
a lot
so
of
how did
fun.
you guys get hooked up with Metalville Records?
So my manager, he's working with Lee Aaron, so that's a Canadian artist as well, and
Mhm.
she's I think she's signed to Metalville still today, and that's how we connected. So my manager contacted them, and they sent us a deal. They loved the band. I got a couple offers from a couple of labels, and I think that was a great deal, and they loved the band, so I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, do you guys have anything planned for a tour anytime soon?
My manager is currently looking into it, so we're hoping to go on tour after the summer, so in like fall or something. Yeah.
Do you come into the States, or do you know, or just
Right now we're looking into Europe, which is pretty cool because we've never done it before.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can go there and do some shows, and I would love to do the States as well. Like that's the dream. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of preparation, and yeah, we got to get out there and try to do it. Try to reach the goals. Yeah.
Absolutely? Yeah, I'm over on the West Coast, just north of Portland, Oregon, in Vancouver.
Oh
So,
yeah, cool, cool.
we it'd be great to see you guys out here. So,
Yeah. So
um,
you're in Vancouver, or just south of Vancouver? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
I'm in Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, Canada. So,
Oh, I
so
didn't.
I'm like 8 miles from Portland, Oregon. I'm right
Right.
on the right. I'm literally I can see the Columbia River when I walk across the
Yeah,
street
that's
from,
awesome.
you know what I mean? So I'm right on the border there.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I love your guys' stuff. It'd be great. I had just one other thing. If you could get on any tour at all, like a dream tour, what band would you want to? What band would
Um,
you want to be out on tour with?
that would be AC/DC.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
would that be
One
your
of our
perfect
favorite.
fit?
Well, it could be Guns N' Roses as well. I could say Guns N' Roses. I love
Right.
them as well. I think these two bands have reached such an iconic level. They're the greatest, the biggest bands in the world, and getting on one of these tours with one of these acts, that one of my heroes, AC/DC and Guns N' Roses,
Mhm.
Motley Crue, Van Halen as well. It would be great. But these two bands are, that would be the dream. Yeah.
Cool. An odd question I'll throw in real quick. There's been talks for a little while of Van Halen coming back out with Joe Satriani.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
um Look, uh I I would love to see Alex and the guys play and do some stuff. I love Alex. He's my favorite drummer of all time. Um, I just don't understand. I just don't think that Joe is the guy to do a Van Halen thing. Yeah, he could. It would be more like I would see Joe do his own tour and do a Van Halen tribute by himself, but it would sound like Joe, because Joe Satriani's sound and playing is very
It's Joe.
far
Yeah,
is very far from what Eddie is doing. It's not the same type of tone and sound, and completely different style of playing. I just don't think it would work as a tribute and as a uh, homage to Eddie. Like it just wouldn't fit very well. I think that's my honest opinion on
yeah.
on the matter. Yeah.
I think he could surprise you, though. I mean, Joe's capable.
Yeah.
probably playing anything that's put in front of them, right? And for me, if you've
Great
got
player.
if you got Dave, Michael, and Alex, that's
Yeah.
about as best. That's better going to be better than any Van Halen tribute band that I could
Okay,
think of.
that would be great, but I'm still, you know, I haven't heard him play Van Halen, but I'm
Right,
like, based on his style of playing and his sound. I mean,
right.
even
His tone
if
and
he
everything.
would play Van Halen, I don't think it would be quite the right thing, the right feel, you know, the right feel for the band. But look, if he does it, and yeah, just, you know, I have nothing bad to say about it. I would go see it, I guess, you know. It's
Right,
just
right. No, I just wanted as an Eddie Van Halen fan, I just wanted your opinion. So
that's my honest opinion. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So, what else does 2022 have in store for Deraps?
Well, we're releasing our album in what, 3 weeks now, which I can't wait. I'm super excited. Finally, you know, it's been so much hard work and passion and a long wait as well. So I'm excited to release this to the fans finally, so that everyone can hear it. And then, like we talked before, we would love to go on tour and do as much shows as we can. You know, that's the dream, and that's what we want to do. And we want to play music. That's the only thing that we care about, that we love so much. So yeah, that's what we want to do.
Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to talk about, Jacob, or anything else you wanted to throw out there? Shout out to anybody or anything?
Yeah, we can talk about the. Well, I just released a new single this morning. So, "Veins
This
of My
morning?
Heart." This morning, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. "Veins of My Heart" will be available tomorrow on all streaming platforms and digital. But the video came out on my YouTube channel this morning. So
I
today.
watched it this morning. I thought it was a very cool video, and I
Yeah,
like the
thanks.
song a lot. So it
Yeah.
looks really neat. So do you guys do some of that production yourself? Then are you making your video?
Oh, it's all Josh.
All you?
It's our drummer Josh. He did
Uh-huh.
all the videos. He did all the videos. Yeah.
That's excellent because your videos look great. So it's really
Thanks.
nice to have that kind of talent in your band, you know, that you can just produce and do this stuff, because it would cost you a fortune to
Yeah.
hire all that stuff out, you know.
Yeah. I think it's well worth mentioning it. That's why I like to talk about it so much, because it's like we're a two-man army. It's pretty crazy, you know. Doing all of that by ourselves it's pretty unreal. Yeah. So yeah, the single will be available tomorrow, and as well as our other singles which came out. So it's all available on Spotify, and the album is available on pre-order as well. You can do it on Amazon and iTunes and all. There's a lot of stuff out there. Just go and Google Deraps CD, and you can all find that stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining me, Jacob Deraps of the band Deraps, and pick up their debut album coming out June 22nd, self-titled. Definitely worth owning, and just thanks again for joining me.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Thanks for inviting me, and I appreciate talking to you. It was fun.